I'm Kris Hagan. For those who don't know, I've been a language coach for many years. In my career, I've taught a wide variety of people, from famous singers and radio presenters to doctors, uni students, and yes, even desperate housewives trying to find an English lover. I've finally decided to share my thoughts, tips and tricks with the world. Also check out my YouTube channel if you want to see my ugly mush. So let's kick off this podcast with a great jingle.
Doesn't matter where you are, in the car or at the bar. Here for you comes in your ears, another word for thanks is cheers. Here's the new kid from the block, here for you around the clock, sharing all his English tips. Kris
is an anagram of risk.
Kris.
I want to start by telling you all some shocking news. I don't know if you can handle it on a Monday. Are you sitting down? Are you ready? Here it is. Scotland is not an island. Now, did you know this already? Probably, yeah. One of our guests didn't. I won't tell you which one, but I discovered yesterday that this person, that he or she, didn't know. But don't worry, now they do. I corrected them. Now, something less shocking, exciting in fact. Sir Kay magazine is out today, the spring issue, our 6th year also. Happy birthday to Sir Kay. So many birthdays in this period. At least I don't have to scroll through Amazon to find a gift for the magazine. It is easily pleased, unlike me. Today is also the birthday of Coca-Cola, the version with cocaine. Wikipedia actually says differently, but other sites say it's today, so who knows. It's my favourite drink, as many of you are aware, especially my gastroenterologist. Say that when you're drunk. So, I can say, well, in my opinion, it deserves 2 anyway, so I don't know whether Wikipedia is correct or the other websites, but let's say it can have 2. Now, before we get started with our first guest, I want to say hello to my friends in Seoul, in South Korea, and to stay inside or at least be extra careful today due to the yellow dust storm they're having that came from Mongolia. Stay safe and hopefully it will go away very soon.
Introducing Mimi Melendez, mixing cocktails from Miami to New York. People blame her for getting legless just cause she mixed it. She didn't pour it down your throat.
No, she didn't.
Remember to leave her a tip.
Mimi's back. And what are you going to do today? Not another quiz, please. Even though I passed last time.
You did surprisingly well.
Maybe in the future.
This time we're going to talk about something more serious.
What?
So we're going to talk about some little known laws or policies in the United States.
Don't have sex with a live fish.
Besides that one, that don't have to do with sex and animals too much. So these things are related to bartending and like the bartending business, which a lot of people don't realize all of the responsibilities that a bartender has and a place that serves alcohol has. So we're going to be talking about some of these things. And let me just say, I am not an attorney, okay? I'm not giving any legal advice. These are just some of the interesting things that I've come across in my years of bartending that I think is worth talking about.
So you were never sued then?
I was never sued.
Okay, we're all right.
Not yet. No, I've never been
Otherwise,
sued.
I have to go back and change your name in the jingle.
I've never been. Who knows whose name that is that I'm using? I've never been sued because I've been always very careful about following the rules and following the law.
And not being caught. The best thing ever.
Okay, so as a lot of people know, and if you didn't know, you learned it from one of our previous podcasts, that the legal drinking age in the U.S. is 21. There are many states where the legal age to serve alcohol is 18, though. So there's like this discrepancy. It's weird. Some states tell you that it depends on the place. So if you're primarily serving food and act more of a restaurant, it's okay at 18 to serve alcohol. Some states don't let you bartend until you're 21. So it really depends. Tobacco products, for example, is 18. Military service is 18. Alcohol, 21.
Oh, you don't want to be drunk while you're operating a gun.
That's right. So that's one of the weird things that people constantly ask about is why can I serve in the military and buy cigarettes, but I can't buy an alcoholic.
You can kill someone, but you can't have a glass of wine.
That's right. And there are consequences for underage drinking, and they do vary by state, sometimes by city or county. And each case, of course, is different, but you could absolutely go to jail for this. So some people who are underage...
For a glass of wine.
For a glass of wine, if you are underage and you are drinking. Yes, absolutely. You could get in a
I'm
heap,
frowning. I mean, she's looking at me, but you
You
can't
can
tell.
get in a heap of trouble, yes, for also using a fake ID or using someone else's ID. So the person you served, that served you alcohol, actually, this is another thing that people don't understand, can go to jail. Okay, even if it's in the privacy of your own home. So what do I mean? If you're a minor, you go to a bar, the bartender serves you alcohol, the bartender can go to jail if they get caught. If you're a parent and you serve your child who's under 21 an alcoholic beverage
In the
at
house?
home, yes, you can go to jail for that.
Give me your drink back. You're too young. I'm not seeing your ID.
Oh, why? Thank you.
You're older than me.
The pictures say otherwise.
But you look better. In fact.
Thanks. So that's just something to know, that we have to be aware as a bartender. We have to make sure we are properly IDing our customers. And also, if you're a parent, doesn't matter if you birthed that child, you still have to follow the law, and the law is 21.
In America.
In America, that's right. There's also
3 years old in England.
3.
No, it's not 3.
At birth.
To celebrate, of course.
Of course.
In fact,
your own birth.
you wet the baby's head is an expression in English.
So this is related to premises liability or dram shop laws, which vary state by state.
What's a dram shop?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
So dram shop dram shop is just an old timey word for a place that sells or serves alcohol, which we don't really use that anymore, but it's still used in the law. And the law says that it holds responsible a business that's liable for serving or selling alcohol to minors or intoxicated persons who later cause death, injury, or blah, 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 blah. Okay, what does it mean? Basically, that the establishment that's serving or selling alcohol is responsible to make sure that they're not serving minors or serving people who are already like on their butt drunk. So you have to be careful, because you could be liable. For example, authorities can pursue you if the bar has a drunk person who leaves and then gets in an accident, any type of accident, even a slip and fall.
It can be your fault.
It can be your fault. You can be held responsible for that.
You think people these days will be responsible for themselves?
You would think that, but unfortunately, we need bartenders to also be babysitters in these cases.
So basically, it's like it's better not to open a bar.
Oh, no. You should open it, but you should do it responsibly. You can do it successfully and responsibly by following the rules. There's no reason you should break the rules. Whatever you're gaining from breaking the rule of serving someone who's super drunk or underage, you're not getting. It's not, the advantages don't trump the disadvantages. Let's say
what is it? The something doesn't weigh up the something.
Yeah, exactly. The something doesn't weigh up the something.
The pros don't weigh up the cons. The cons don't weigh up the pros.
business.
Something like that. Yeah. Okay.
So just be responsible. Make sure you're properly IDing customers, and remember that bartenders can also be held responsible for serving a minor.
Okay, but don't use that against them. Thank you very much, Mimi, and see you next week.
Thanks, guys.
Mimi Menendez, a mixologist.
Now, I just read some nice news. The 17th of March was not only St. Patrick's Day, but on the 17th of March, a baby girl was born on board a flight travelling across India. Now remember, when you say I was born, when you're talking about the period when you were born, remember to use the past tense. In some languages, they use the present tense, which is quite strange because you're only born in the past, not now. Or if you're born now, I don't think you can speak well enough to actually say, I am born. So remember, always use the past tense. Now, crew members helped deliver this child mid-flight along with a doctor, who was also on the plane, from Bangalore to Jaipur. But I want to know, what nationality are you considered if you are born on a flight not above your country or the sea? Are you the nationality of your parents? The nationality of your first destination? I wonder if there are any babies with the name of airlines even. Imagine being called Ryanair instead of just Ryan. I mean, people do name their offspring after the cities they were conceived in, so why not after the place or plane where they were born? If you're born on a bridge, I would call you Bridge. Also because I did a search online for a famous person or any person named Bridge, and none came up. You could be the first. What are you waiting for?
She's from Australia,
Koala.
or is it maybe South Africa? She doesn't know either, but one thing's for sure, she makes business English sexy.
Like a kangaroo.
It's Kelly Lawrence.
Because you all like idioms so much, I thought, let's get in touch with Kelly and ask her to go over some business idioms. Because we all know many idioms like raining cats and dogs. Everybody knows raining cats and dogs. If you don't know raining cats and dogs, what are you doing listening to this podcast? And so Kelly actually took up my offer and she decided to find some business English idioms to go over with us today. So Kelly, hello. Did you find any? You're here, so I'm guessing the answer is yes.
Yes, absolutely. There are a lot of idioms that we use a lot in business.
Okay, well, don't give us too many. You've only got 5 minutes, remember?
Exactly. And I
Give us
wanted
6, let's say.
Yeah, there's about 6 here. And I wanted to try and go over the ones that are very common, ones that you will come across if you're working in a business environment for at least a week. Okay, so the first one is to be thrown in at the deep end. You might learn this one in your first week of a new job. Okay,
Yeah, first day probably.
Exactly, maybe the first day. It's something very common. So I'll repeat that one. It's to be thrown in at the deep end. Okay, and it's basically, it gives you an image of somebody who's being thrown into a pool at the deep part of the pool. And basically this means that you're either going to sink or you're going to swim.
I sink because I can't swim.
Okay, and so this expression is used to describe a situation where you are given a lot of work without a lot of assistance. And so you have to work really hard and try and learn how to do it without any help from anyone else. So you're literally thrown in at the deep end and you have to try and swim on your own or sink. Okay?
like when I asked you to do this podcast.
In fact, I hope I'm swimming now.
No, you're swimming gracefully, don't you? Like a swan or like a fish, whichever you prefer.
Okay, so look, the next one we have is to get into hot water with someone. Okay,
That sounds quite nice. Like in a jacuzzi.
Exactly, but imagine the water is really, really hot. Okay, so to get into hot water with someone means that you get in trouble with them. Okay, that you get in trouble, they're not happy with you. Okay, you're in hot water with them. The most common example of this one is to get into hot water with your boss. Okay, It's not something intimate, it's something bad. Okay, you're getting into hot water.
I could drown in a jacuzzi, so no one's going to get into hot water with me. So literally.
True. So that's the next one, to get into hot water with someone. And going forward, we've got to make a killing. Okay, this one's very funny. If you're making a killing, it means you're very successful and probably very happy. It means that you're making a lot of money.
Because you think money makes you happy?
Well, it could help.
It helps. It definitely helps.
Definitely helped.
Yeah.
So you can describe someone else. You can say, oh, you won't believe it. My colleague is making a killing at the moment. Okay.
Doesn't mean they're killing anybody.
Exactly. They're not killing anybody. They're just making a lot of money. Okay. Quite straightforward. The next two are confused a lot. So you have to pay attention. The first one is to put someone in the picture. This means that they missed the picture. They missed some information and you need to update them on what happened. Okay, so you put them in the picture by telling them what they missed. The next one is to keep someone in the loop. Now, to keep someone in the loop doesn't mean they've missed anything yet. It means that you're going to keep them updated in the future with things that are happening.
So continuously.
Exactly, continuously keeping someone in the loop or updating someone by putting them in the picture. Okay, so don't get them confused.
How do we cope with a boomerang now then? On Instagram, you have a picture that loops, which is a boomerang. We need a new expression. You have to invent one now. To keep somebody in the boomerang.
Keep someone in the boomerang. Exactly.
Going backwards and forwards, positive and negative.
Yeah.
And any others?
Some other ones that we can go over. Maybe
You got 1 minute left.
Okay, to be hands-on, for example, you can explain a situation that is very hands-on. That means it's very, very practical, okay? For example, you can say my work is very hands-on. I have to work with people directly, I have to deal with a lot of problems. It's hands-on, okay? So that's another expression we use a lot. So try to study these ones, try to remember them, and I'm sure you'll come across them sooner or later in a business setting.
Okay, so do this. Give me an example with get the ball rolling.
Ah, good. That's another one. To get the ball rolling means to get something started.
I just thought I'd trick you, but it didn't work. Go on, give us an example.
I know this one. So, for example, we need to get the ball rolling. We need to start. It happens when we use this expression to explain when we need to make a start on something. Just getting the ball rolling means just getting started.
Okay, which is the opposite of what you need to do because you're about to finish your time.
Exactly.
You got a couple of seconds left. Do you want to say anything? Hello to your mother.
All. Hey, Mum.
Is that it?
That's all.
You're not very emotional,
She
are
won't
you?
listen to this.
Terrible mother. Hello to Kelly's mum who's not listening to our podcast. I feel very sad now.
Now we love business English show thanks to
Now, our fantastic language is the best when it comes to insults. Many of the best British insults are with swear words. unfortunately. So I thought I would try to find some without any effing and jeffing, as we call it. So let's have a look at a few to see if you know them. If I say somebody has a great face for radio, is that a compliment? Obviously not. I've just told you they're British insults. It means you're ugly, because if you have a great face for radio, people can't see you. Nowadays, there is this radio TV, but maybe we can't use it for that anymore. But for people who are still on the radio, who don't have a TV or a camera in front of them, we can still say you have a great face for radio. Not all radio presenters are ugly. I have many friends who are radio presenters, and you're all highly attractive, so don't worry. Another one. If you had a brain, you'd be dangerous. Quite self-explanatory. This means you're stupid. My mother told me this one this morning. Not about me. She just reminded me that it existed. She's got nice feet, or she looks good in the dark. These two are like backhanded compliments, let's say. They're compliments we give to people who we don't really know what to compliment because there's nothing to compliment. So again, basically, they mean they're ugly. He could talk for England. Now, this means somebody never shuts up. He talks for England. He can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. A bit like me now. I've seen better legs on a table. There are different variations of this. There are. I've seen better legs on a coffee table. I've seen better legs on a pool table. Basically, it just means that your legs are horrible, I guess. Not really attractive. Not very sexy legs. Shall I call you a cab? Or just whistle for your broom? Now, this I'd never actually heard until recently. It's quite nice, no? You're really calling somebody a witch if you're whistling for their broom, a broomstick. Broom is short for broomstick. So, shall I call you a cab or just whistle for your broom? I'm guessing you're not going home with that person anyway, unless two people can fit on a broom and you're into witches. He couldn't organise a bun fight in a bakery. Now, this is the less vulgar version, but you can have fun with these. You can change bun fight and bakery into many, many different things, but many of them, like I say, have got some bad, naughty words in them, so you can decide which to use. So, he couldn't organise a bun fight in a bakery basically means someone is very incompetent at organising things. I use this one quite a lot. This next one I like, and I use this also quite a lot. She's mutton dressed as lamb. Mutton is an old sheep. And lamb is a baby sheep, as you all know. Remember, don't pronounce the B. It's not lamb, it's lamb. She's mutton dressed as lamb. This is an older woman who is dressed like a teenager or a younger person in their 20s, trying to look younger than she is, but failing drastically. Now, talking of mutton dressed as lamb, only joking. He's neither a woman nor unfashionable, in fact. It's Jonathan.
Jonathan, talk to us about food around the world. Jonathan, Canadian, their best export after Justin Bieber.
Jonathan's back. Hello, Jonathan.
Hi, Kris.
Okay, and what we're going to talk about today, food-wise?
Have you ever been to a Michelin star rated restaurant?
No, because I'm poor.
Well, episode over. No,
I go every week.
This is something.
I have to pretend I'm poor.
Yes, exactly. You have a lot to show off.
I live off with fish and chips. I wish I lived off fish and chips.
This is something that's become quite popular, especially in the high-end restaurants, as it allows for a lot of experimentation and creativity, new ways at looking at cuisine, and the nature of cuisine and the culinary arts themselves. Mm-hmm. And it's something I hate.
You hate?
Absolutely.
Tell me what you hate.
What is molecular gastronomy?
Something to do with molecules.
Indeed. In fact, most things have to do with molecules.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Physical reality itself, usually.
Okay. I'm not a scientist, but yeah.
So, molecular gastronomy is this beautiful confluence of culinary science, art, and, well, cuisine. Mm-hmm. And it usually involves experimenting in weird ways. And the first thing that pops into my mind is all those weird little gels that taste like different things. You can have a 6-course meal of jelly, but here's your beef, here's your chicken, here's your tiramisu at the end. Or little beads and smoky things where they wave something in the air and you experience the full breadth of a country's cuisine. Now,
Eating jelly.
no, in this case, this is solely an olfactory experience.
Okay.
You just put your nose in the air and see what happens. Such is the nature of molecular gastronomy. Now, I'm sure everyone who is listening to this and has experienced fine dining at such a haute cuisine level will disagree with me, because you must pay quite a bit to experience it. And
It's expensive.
I find when people want to pay for things, they must justify their experiences, no matter how silly it may be. So it's a relatively recent thing, this molecular gastronomy, as ideas around food and what food is and how we can experiment with food has changed. So around the late 80s, I want to say 88, this idea, this study came to be. And now you see it a lot on cooking shows and television and all that. And ain't nobody got time for that, I would say. It's too much. If I'm paying for something, I want to eat. I don't want an experience. I want to leave and not pass out.
You want to not go to the kebab shop after.
Exactly.
You want to be full.
Exactly. I want to be full. I want to, if I'm eating, if I'm enjoying the experience of dining, whether it be fine or at the basest level, I want to leave smiling.
Okay, experiment's okay, but as long as it's free.
Yes.
Why should you pay for something that you're not going to eat, basically?
Well, and that's
There's
the
nothing to
difficulty.
eat.
Yeah, you need $10,000 machinery in the back of your kitchen to separate the molecules and put them in new forms and inject the essence of chicken broth into your jelly bead. That takes quite a lot of work, and someone's got to pay for it. I just don't want it to ever be me.
No, you've never tried it then? Never?
Oh, yes, I have.
Ah, you have tried it?
Yeah, but little bits and pieces here. As a friend of mine is a little bit of an experimenter in the kitchen, so I've had a few...
But you tried it for free then? You didn't have to pay?
Yes.
Only for free.
Yes, yes. So the concept for me is interesting, and food science is a fascinating subject as long as it's helping you create the perfect poutine and not a jelly ball of broth. That's it.
Okay, so you don't...
That's it.
So you're not a fan of this molecular thing?
Not
then? So when you see it
really.
on MasterChef and things like this, it's not something that you...
It's not really up my alley, you could say.
You've never tried to do it yourself, though. You've tried eating it.
I've tried eating it, yes. Well, I don't have enough syringes, and I don't have enough cloud chambers, and I don't have enough double boilers, and I have a pan, and I have a stove.
And a pot, I'm guessing, as well.
I also have a pot for when I'm not making soup. Yes.
You have to make pasta.
Just in case,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, so molecular thing's not your next job?
No.
No, you're not going to be doing any molecular chefing then?
No, indeed.
Okay, fine. So if you've been to a restaurant and tried this food, let us know.
And now we're hungry. Thank you.
Now, earlier I was talking about the baby that was born on the plane flying above India. Now, India is also connected to today's magazine release because inside the spring issue of Cirque magazine, the link you can find in the description. So just click on the link and it takes you there. Magic. So, Dad, when you ask me 25 times, how do I get to the magazine? Click the link in the description. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. Anyway, going back to my magazine. In there is an interview with a guy called Tinku. He's a designer, and yesterday he gave me the wonderful news that he gave 100 rucksacks with his charity project to children of the mission of Ali Palit. I hope I said that right now. Go over to his website, www.podgipeliteria.com, to buy some of his amazing leather products and at the same time help children. They are the future, after all. And if you aren't too sure of the spelling of the website, it is www. I'm sure you've got POGGI, so POGGIPELLETTERIA.com. You can also find it in his interview in the magazine. Go and download it, link in the description, like I just told my dad. It's free. Who's next?
Now it's time for Laura, straight to you via Skype. She's at home in Nashville, couldn't find a flight. Laura likes to listen to the radio, but when it comes to music, she prefers it live. Laura, give for 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 Laura. Laura, give for Laura, give for Laura, give for Laura, give for.
Hello, Laura. Milan calling Nashville. How are you?
Hello, Kris. It is always wonderful to hear from you. Well, I'm not actually in Nashville today.
No.
I'm in Asheville, North Carolina.
Asheville,
I am on
no.
holiday.
Ah, lucky you. Nashville.
This town is fabulous because everyone here wears a mask. Everyone is limiting capacity in all the restaurants.
Very good.
There are lots of patios outside to eat on. The weather's been wonderful. It's been a great weekend.
Yeah, I'm not jealous at all.
The only thing missing is music. So Asheville has several great clubs, but they're all still dark. They're just starting to reopen. So there's been no music here this weekend, live music.
Not yet.
But speaking of live music, today I thought I would talk about girl groups.
Ah, very nice. I like them.
It's Women's History Month.
It sure is.
So we hear the term girl group or girl band all the time. And I got curious about what it meant, so I started looking some things up. What do you think it means? I mean, do you think a girl group and a girl band are the same thing?
I don't know. Maybe a girl band plays instruments.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, the history of all-female bands is long, beginning in the 1920s and morphing through different genres, races, and sounds over the years. The term girl group tends to describe acts where female vocalists are at the forefront, singing harmonies and more complex vocal parts, possibly dancing. Girl bands tends to refer to acts where the entire band is female and everyone plays their own instruments.
I was right.
On the face of it, most of these acts, regardless of the decade or the genre, were happy, pretty, straightforward entertainers. People don't often think about, and I don't blame anyone because it could tarnish the listening experience. People don't often think about the sacrifices that these ladies have made just to get to practice their craft.
Hey, you're right. I don't think people think about it much when listening to music. Tell us more.
One of the very first successful girl groups was called, they were the Hamilton Sisters in Fordyce.
I think of it.
They were an American trio who played across the U.S., in England, and parts of Europe from 1923 till 1940. They were distinguished by their close harmonies and barbershop style.
Ah, nice.
And this style of girl group carried on through the 1960s. So other groups you would have heard of, like the Andrews Sisters and the Chordettes, over time gave way to Motown acts like Martha and the Vandellas and the Supremes. And some of these groups, like the Shirelles, for example, had hits written by Carole King and Jerry Goffin. Others, like the Ronettes, were part of Phil Spector's Wall of Sound. These acts, while all extremely popular and well-selling, weren't in complete control of their music or their careers. Their songs were often written by men. Carole King was a huge female songwriter with dozens of hits to her name, so when she came along, she was really a force to be reckoned with. In the case of Phil Spector, for example, stories of his abuse of women came out decades later, so these ladies did not have an easy go of it.
That's horrible.
Yes, they suffered huge indignancies to be able to work. By the 1970s, the feminist movement was in full swing, though. There was a talented but little-known Californian girl band called Fanny.
Really? Nice. That's a strange name.
I knew you'd have something to say about that.
It's impossible not to.
Some sources list them as the first all-girl band who played their own instruments.
I can't imagine any men being in that band with the name Fanny.
They only played together for about 5 years, but they represented significant change for female rock bands. Fanny focused on serious musicianship and ability rather than solely vocal prowess and physical appearance.
Bring back Fanny.
Fanny made way for many better-known all-female rock groups to make a name for themselves.
I need to go and check out Fanny. I mean, it's just a fantastic name. Absolutely fantastic. Memorable for sure.
Oh,
yeah, because for you in America, the fanny is the backside, the bottom.
Yeah.
And in England, it's the opposite part on a lady.
Yeah, I would assume it was intentional, but it's funny either way. The road for these acts still wasn't smooth, though. While female-fronted bands were becoming more popular, there were still a few all-female bands who made great strides in the 70s and 80s. The Runaways are probably the most famous girl band. They were popular in their day, but they've gained even more recognition over the years because of the subsequent successes of Joan Jett and Lita Ford. The Runaways had several member changes, and they really only put out 4 records over a 2-year period before disbanding.
Only?
There is a documentary called Edge Play that was directed by Vicky Blue, one of the bassists. Interestingly, each member patterned herself after her musical idol for her onstage persona. Of all the members, only Joan Jett patterned herself after another woman, punk artist Suzi Quatro.
I know her.
So even within that female band culture, there was a lot of male influence. The Runaways enjoyed fantastic success in Japan and great success in the US and UK punk scenes. But the band dissolved amid disagreements on direction and other problems, and it's widely rumored that their original manager was sexually abusive to band members, and that male record label management asserted psychological control over the girls, resulting in band discord. But from the ashes of the Runaways came several rock role models for young female musicians worldwide.
And yeah, Britney Spears did a cover of Joan Jett's I Love Rock and Roll, where she was gyrating around on a motorbike to try and make it a little bit more rock, but she failed.
Exactly. Joan Jett and Lita Ford were huge successes in the rock world throughout the 80s and beyond.
True.
And we don't even have time today to talk about the solo female acts like Britney, Cher, Bonnie Raitt, Madonna, Annie Lennox, Taylor Swift. Another day, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely Taylor Swift. And with Madonna, there's a million stories that can be told about her, I'm sure.
The 80s gave us some stellar girl bands. Bananarama, the Bangles, the Go-Go's.
Oh, yeah, Bananarama.
Salt and Pepper were a hip-hop girl group pioneers.
Salt and Pepper, my God.
That formula decreased in commonality after the 80s, but the 90s brought many wildly popular girl groups. In the U.S., R&B and hip-hop acts like In Vogue and Destiny's Child were very popular, but it was acts like TLC and the Spice Girls who broke sales records. You remember those songs, surely.
Of course, very poetic. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Exactly.
Go on, ignore me. Carry on. I'll give you an extra minute or so just because I wasted some of your time. Go.
Moving into the 2000s, there was more diversity in girl groups. The Pussycat Dolls became an incredibly popular pop group. Slightly less popular, but still very well known, were the All Saints, the Saturdays, and Fifth Harmony. Fifth Harmony started out on the X Factor.
They did, yeah.
J-pop and K-pop have taken worldwide hold in the last decade or so. And this is more your genre than mine. What's your favorite lady K-pop band?
Well, really, I prefer the male ones, but people even say they're quite female anyway. But I do like ITZY, they're not bad, and I have to say twice to keep my little Korean friend happy. Reina, hi. She loves them, so I have to say twice. Well, she loved them when she was a kid. I don't know if she still loves them. If I find any other good female K-pop bands, I'm sure I'll fall in love with them and like them, and I'll let you know. But also check out V-pop, that's coming up soon. V-pop is from Vietnam.
I will have to check them out. Thank you.
I'm sure you'll hate them.
Yeah,
don't hate me.
Yeah, maybe so. Throughout the years, women have had to work harder to get ahead in the music industry than their male counterparts. As I speak to current artists like Jenna Duvall of Sing Sarah, for instance, it's painfully clear that sexism is still alive and well in the music industry. With March being Women's History Month in the U.S., I thought this was a good time to talk about the long, proud history of women who bring us so much joy through their music.
Rightly so. I don't know if Italy's done any events for Women's History Month, but I know that the Parliament of the UK did some online events and things like this where female MPs talked about different things.
Well, maybe I'll talk about some more women next week.
If you want to, that'll be fine by me. My pleasure.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, Laura, and we'll see you next week. Enjoy your holiday.
I will see you then.
Now we know something more about music. Thank you, Laura.
Now, speaking of female musicians, go and download today's new spring issue of Cirque magazine. I've told you a million times now, because there is an interview with a girl called Tiamo. She's very, very good. Now, whatever holiday, if any, you're celebrating this week, Easter, Pesach, etc., don't eat too much or drink too much, as it's quite hot in some places now. You might end up with unexpected sunburn or heat stroke like I did yesterday. Even if you aren't a religious person, like me, there's always an excuse for some chocolate, egg-shaped or not. Bye, jingle!
Doesn't matter where you are, in the car or at the bar. Here for you comes in your ears, another word for thanks is cheers. Here's the new kid from the block, here for you around the clock. Shining on his English lips, Kris
is an anagram of risk.